And Chris Craig at the airport and the county work together in trying to lure in more airlines to see if there's a possibility of expanding additional service. Of course,
Yes.
the ultimate goal would be eventually perhaps even international flights.
Yeah, and that is always the goal. And Chris works very hard along with the airport committee at the legislature to obviously attract new carriers and new destinations. It's just not as simple as people think it is. You know, we would love to have any airline here, but like every industry right now, every airline is hurting for help. I mean, we saw the announcement of JetBlue stopping service in Burlington. You know, this isn't a Plattsburgh problem. This is an airline industry problem because they just don't have the workers to service all these locations. So they have to figure out where it makes sense for them to best place their flight lines.
The airport is, again, Breeze Airways now at the airport. Airport is
Yes.
expanding and doing well. Plattsburgh International Airport, though, also has the Air Industrial Park.
Yes.
That a lot of people may not know about. That has a number of tenants, nearly 30 tenants altogether.
Almost 30 tenants. That brings in almost $1 million in revenue for the county every year, and a wide variety of tenants. You know, Beta Technologies obviously is one of our most popular ones right now, given the funding announcement that they received from the governor. But we have businesses like Smart Chillers, Vapor Stone Rail. There's lots of different businesses that have set up shop there, and we've made use of the former Air Force buildings to create an industrial park in addition to the commercial service.
One of the biggest concerns for the county must be Medicaid expenses. The county has to pick up a huge percentage of Medicaid cost as mandated by the state.
Yep.
On top of that, the State Association of Counties says the state still owes approximately $1 billion to the counties. Money that was supposed to come from the federal government got intercepted for Clinton County. That's about $7 million. So how much of a burden is this putting on the counties, the Medicaid costs?
It's huge, and there's also been a clawback of 1.3 million that was intercepted last year. That's a continuing one. It's the EF-MAP formula that seems that that is money that should be going to the counties. What we're really concerned about is if the state continues to spend more than what they're taking in, that falls to the counties. And this is just one of those examples of that is money that we could be investing in our taxpayers for our residents and programs for our residents. So it's very concerning. Whenever there's any kind of clawback of county money for counties when we're already doing as much as we can with as little as we can, it's a concern. And so we're hopeful that we can work with our state lawmakers to retract that.
We touched on this a little bit, language in the budget giving the governor authority to close up to 5 more prisons. Here in Clinton County, obviously Dannemora is, the Clinton Correctional is the biggest employer. The annex closed there just a couple of years ago. There's also the medium security prison in Altona. So potentially there's hundreds of jobs that could be at stake if in fact prisons here in the North Country get targeted again.
Yeah, and that's our concern. You know, likely there would be job opportunities for them somewhere in the correctional facility, but that would probably mean their relocation if they have to go to a different facility. And again, I can't stress enough that that not only is the economic impact of the prison closure, but it is the long-lasting economic impact of these facilities being shuttered and nothing to revitalize them. You know, towns like Lion Mountain, sit pretty empty now. When that was bustling, there was a little grocery store with gas. There was a lot that the patrons that were there were workers there. So that is something that is even more concerning. It's not just the jobs themselves, but the impact to the communities where these buildings are left.
It seems that the lawmakers here on both sides of the political aisle are united in opposing any more prison closures for the North Country.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and having worked with Assemblyman Jones, I'm familiar with his steadfast opposition to, and having been a former correctional officer, as well as our Senator Steck being opposed to that.